Hey, welcome everyone to the Richard Gilliver after party. And Kyle's still banging his head. By the way, guys, the intro music is all done. It's my band that you're hearing, so you're hearing me as the singer and whatnot. So, if you dig it, there are links below to the SoundCloud page where you can listen to all the stuff that we've done professionally so far. There's more coming too, by the way. We're just getting into recording some more stuff. But anyways, this is the Richard Gilliver after party, and of course, with us so far we have the guest of honor tonight, Mr. Richard Gilliver is with us, and also my very good friend Kyle Brewer is also with us, and I have no idea what the hell that noise is. But below me is one of the OGs in my podcast, Mr. Staggerson Jags, is also with us, and my very good friend right down over there in that little slot there is Randolf Richardson, my friend and future co-host for Two North Talks, who's had to go run and do something, but he'll be back momentarily. And a newcomer to the after parties, Josh, is also with us, who hosts his own bunch of shows, I guess, and going to be doing future projects with other people as well over on the YouTubes there. So first and foremost, Richard, thanks again for being my guest tonight as the deconversion stories, which you didn't really have. So we just talked about other cool shit, which was awesome.
It was very good indeed. Thank you for having me on. I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Well, my pleasure, my friend. Now, Josh, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your show, especially the one where you're talking about, I guess, movies and stuff. How many different podcasts, first of all, do you do?
It's just the one podcast. It's an action and horror movie podcast. But I keep making collaborations with Richard. Like I've been on Skeptic Hangout for a couple episodes, and then we're trying to do meet right in the middle of him doing Skepticism on Skeptic Takeout and me doing a movie. So that's why we're doing the two Christian movies. I'm even reading Left Behind so I can get the book and the movie information in there.
Oh, geez, that's going to be some hard reading.
Luckily, it's the short book.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Well, if you're up for it, I'd love to come on there and talk about movies sometime.
I always got to run it by my co-host, but you have a good voice. You have a good voice, so of course I'm all for it. But it's up to him on there. He might be getting sick of me constantly shooting skeptics and atheism onto the podcast, as it is a movie one. He is a theist, but I still push the skepticism in there where I can. I've gotten pushback for talking about, we watched the two Grave Encounter movies, and I got pushback from people talking about how the ghost hunting equipment isn't verified to do shit with ghosts. It's just they say, oh, there's a cold spot in the room. Yeah, that means a cold spot. That doesn't mean a ghost. There's no scientific evidence backing up that cold spot means ghost. And I got pushback on that from people that listen to me. So I'm trying to push skepticism into a community that there's no skepticism in the horror and action movie community that I know of.
It doesn't have a place there that much, though, to be honest.
I had a cold spot.
You gotta kind of just be like, the ghosts are there when you watch.
You gotta. I picked the point where in the show where I would be for it. They always give shit to the husband that's not believing the wife that she saw a ghost. I'm I'm with him up until that point. I like to find out where my point would be, where I'd be believing her, because otherwise, there's something wrong here. She definitely experiencing something, but I would go, oh, you said you saw a ghost. I believe you 100%.
We had a cold spot here, but I figured out very quickly what it was. The fireplace behind our new fireplace, I just had to fill it in. There's cold air coming in. It just goes in strange directions. And it was weird. The cold spots were only showing up certain spots. Now there's no more cold spots because I filled it in. Problem solved. Not ghosts.
My garage is
maybe that's where the ghosts were getting in, Randolph. Did you think of that?
I blocked the ghosts with cardboard?
Maybe that's where the body. Maybe that's where the body is. And you finally laid it to rest.
Oh, okay. Are you trying to say Jenna was right?
What I want to know is if these ghosts are incorporeal, you know how they you can see through them and stuff. They always in the movies and stuff like that, and they seem to be able to walk through walls and whatnot. And how come they're not falling through the fucking floor?
That's what I always say.
And yeah, Neil, I've always thought it was weird. If you zoom out from Earth, all the supernatural claims kind of fall apart. Why is it that ghosts adhere to the outside of a space rock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does gravity affect ghosts too?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like they should be like constantly funneling through the earth until they get outside of the orbit or whatever.
Not only that, like how could you see a ghost if you need light and particles to be able to see things?
Well, Space Ghost went coast to coast.
How can they make sound without lungs and vocal cords?
That's right.
How do they decide which activity they're going to autonomously repeat for the rest of time? Like what clothes which clothes are they wearing? Who decides that?
Or like to be able to hear a ghost, you would need something moving air molecules. So it would have to be physical.
Yeah. No, the only way to hear them is through random sporadic radio frequencies on the FM dial.
Yeah. In that white noise, they're hearing voices. Like that's like basically a hearing pareidolia is what that is.
Plus, there'd be like more naked ghosts and ghosts in their like underwear because they're always wearing the last thing that they wore. Most people die in their sleep. So like if I'm a ghost, I'm just gonna be walking around nude, ghosting everybody.
Shitty pants.
Like somebody's gonna wake up with like a ghost stick in their face. That's me.
Yeah. And I've wondered, how is it that ghosts eat hot dogs?
What was Slimer? Explain Slimer.
I don't think Slimer was supposed to be a living person. I think he's like another sort of being. I'm trying to remember my Ghostbusters lore. I've actually read some comic books from him, but I can't remember everything.
Yeah. That's the only thing too. That's the other thing about ghosts is like we know that no part of the personality would live on past the body dying. Like why would you just wander back and forth in your house? What happens if somebody tears down the house and builds a new one? Or the library,
This was a great scene in this movie, though. She was an awesome character.
I love Ghostbusters. And that opening scare is amazing. Like the old one knew how to walk the line between comedy moments and horror moments without like infringing on each other too much.
Right. Yeah, I agree. The original Ghostbusters is awesome. The second one was pretty good too.
Oh,
I was just going to say that.
I actually have a painting of Viggo the Carpathian up on my wall. So I love that.
Show us.
Okay, let's try to do it without too much.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow, look at that.
What? I'm getting echo here from somebody. Not sure who it is. Ah! Okay, no, it's not happening anymore.
Not me.
Best name ever thought it was me earlier, but I was muted all that time, so it wasn't me.
That's true. Well, yeah, because you don't really use the headphones, Randolph, and that's
but I mute when I'm not talking, so I've been really diligent about that.
Very good.
That's a good strategy too, because whenever he unmutes and everybody else is talking, then all of a sudden we hear the echo and we all shut the fuck up, and he can say what he wants to say. I'm gonna try that.
I think my very favoriteest Ghostbuster moment of all of them is in the second movie when the art curator guy, I can't remember his actual name, but he was also on Ally McBeal and stuff.
24 season 6, yeah.
Yeah. When he comes to after everything's said and done, and he's like, "Why am I covered with goo?"
I liked him riding the bicycle up to pick the baby. Like that scared the shit out of me as a kid for some reason. Like that's the part that more than Viggo, just him on the bicycle grabbing the baby scared me so much.
Yep, for sure. Hang on. Oh, we got another Russian bot in the chat, guys. Someone handle that.
They got him already.
Okay. See, it still shows up in our chat here on the side. It'll stay there, even if it's been booted from the other one. So I never know if they have been taken care of.
Can't do shit from chat here. It sucks.
So, Josh, I got to ask you, what's your favorite horror movie of all time?
I go back and forth between Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2, just because Evil Dead has the better horror moments, but Evil Dead 2 is just so fucking off the walls that
yes,
it's hard to choose between. But it's like if you're saying serious horror, I gotta say Evil Dead.
Yeah. I that of course is right up there for me as well. The entire series, including Army of Darkness, right?
I'll even say the reboot was pretty good too, surprisingly.
Yeah, it was. I was shocked. Didn't have Bruce Campbell, but
if you stayed after the credits, he comes on and says "groovy." Right. So technically, there is Bruce Campbell in there for 2 seconds.
My daughter's getting into horror movies. She just watched all the Freddy Krueger ones a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
The first 4 of those are really fun, and then it takes a huge nosedive in quality.
It gets
Yeah,
weird.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I liked, honestly, man, I think the first couple were my favorite of the Nightmare on Elm Street one. I found the third one to be a little bit that was the 3D one, right?
No, that's the 5th one. You're thinking of Freddy's Dead. Had you put on the glasses, the 3D glasses in the climax? The third one is Dream Warriors. I was like, you're the first person that doesn't think Dream Warriors is either the first or second best one.
That's how I got into
I couldn't
the
remember.
Nightmare on Elm Street stuff was through Dream Warriors because Dokken did the theme song for it.
That's the only Dawkins song I like. Dawkins a little too hair metal-y for me, but because it has the Freddy Krueger link, it's cool.
I think I thought the second one was kind of weak. Am I misremembering? Or
most people did not like the second one at first, but it's kind of become like an allegory for like the gay experience retroactively, just because the actor ended up being gay and like stuff that went right by me when I was a kid. It's very much kind of like a gay metaphor in it, and it's actually a little bit interesting as long as you don't mind the fact that it doesn't make sense that Freddy's trying to get into the real world instead of getting tricked into the real world.
okay.
What I just noticed you have something here.
Ray,
I don't know what this is.
when someone asks you if you're a god,
Oh, right.
That's
you
my
know that I can't do those, right?
Oh, such a short clip. Okay. So,
Nope.
yeah, that's
Can't-
my
can't
favorite
do that.
line from the Ghostbusters. And he's just the part that got cut off. There's when you say yes when someone asks you if you're a god. That's my favorite line from all of that.
Well, yeah, because just me showing that right there was probably going to get me in trouble.
Oh no. Okay. I thought like if it's more than 30 seconds that it's a problem. So I did describe it in private chat for you. So sorry about
Right.
that.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm not even a chance because I've been hit before for stuff that's less than 30
No problem.
seconds.
Nope, no problem.
Like
Yeah,
was it somebody
get
from
you for anything.
National Geographic came after me for showing some fucking thing on gorillas, and I'm like, what?
How long did you? How long of a clip was it?
Like seconds. It was literally like 10 seconds long or something. So
Holy
I
cow.
don't think like technically you're breaking any rules, but like they come down hard on smaller channels.
they do.
Gee, oh, sorry about that, Neil. Yeah,
Yeah, that's all right. It's an issue. So
lawyers are taking all the fun out of it for everybody.
yeah. Okay, somebody's got Discord open. Somebody got Discord open? Because I'm hearing Discord fucking beeps all over the place here. Usually it's me that has it open, but I don't actually have it open today. Because, I had it open for a while because Staggers in here was only on Discord at the time. So it's the only way I could get links to you.
You know, that was a good around the horn question. Like, what's everyone's favorite horror movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. I always do the around the horn stuff. Well, not always, but usually. Yeah. So let's do that then. So we got Josh's. So Richard, what's your favorite horror movie?
I don't know. I don't think I've got a particular favorite horror movie. I like the and I know it's not a popular one, but I like the kind of found footage genre.
Found footage is good.
Good Lord, Blair Witch type thing.
There's better than Blair
I'm
Witch.
not particularly Blair Witch.
Like the tunnel.
There are some good ones. Yeah, the tunnel and it's not the most popular genre. I like it. I liked Cloverfield when that came out, and that was the kind of same thing. And Josh shaking his head. But yeah,
Cloverfield was all right.
Yeah, I'm not really. I mean, I'm not into. I don't believe in any of the supernatural shit. So none of that. I don't even find it scary. Even,
I know.
Like psychologically at all. So it's just like it just goes above my head in a way. So yeah, I like the found footage UFO films. I think I've seen every one. There was the
one from like the 90s, the Robinsons or something, where it was a birthday party for the little girl or something. And
yeah. There was a great. It wasn't a found footage one, and I don't even know if it was a horror movie, but there was I think they called it Star Seed or Starweed or something like that. and it was
Starweed.
literally these
Kyle's favorite
kids.
movie.
These kids went up into the mountains and smoked a couple of reefers, and then saw these aliens coming after them. That was pretty much the premise of the whole film, and that was fucking killer. That was brilliant, proper B movie stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle?
My favorite is Jaws, because that was one of the first movies I ever actually saw on VHS as a kid.
Really?
And yeah, and it gave me nightmares, but I loved it.
I saw it in the theater, and I couldn't take a bath by myself for I don't know how long after.
Right. Yeah, so definitely Jaws. I wasn't much of a fan of 2, 3. Well, 2 was all right, but 3 and 4 were just garbage.
Yeah.
Jaws 3, I didn't 3D. Even know there was a 4.
Yeah, there
it's
was.
Not even worth
the Revenge,
watching.
I think. Jaws the Revenge, I think it was called.
And there's even like an Italian ripoff called Cruel Jaws.
Oh, jeez. What? Really? That's amazing. Jaws makes it all the way to the Mediterranean. Is that what we're going on here? But I think I did think that at the end of Jaws, the way they killed him at the end of that was fucking brilliant. The whole gas canister take a shot at it. I'm like, he'll never hit it. Well, of course he'll hit it. It's a movie. He's got to hit it. But
if only that could actually happen.
Yeah. No, it takes a little more than that. But what about you, Stag? What about what's your favorite horror?
I gotta say, House of a Thousand Corpses, I guess. Or
really?
Lost Boys. Yeah, I really liked House of a Thousand Corpses. Maybe it has a personal connection for me, but
Rob Zombie, right? So
it has everything I'm looking for in a horror movie.
Okay, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was pretty cool.
Could have used more titties, but other than that,
you can always use more titties.
I think most people, including me, usually go Devil's Rejects. It's the better movie. I think House of a Thousand Corpses starts out good.
Horror movie. Devil's Rejects.
It's considered a horror movie.
It's supposed to be in the horror genre, according to Zombie. So
it's an action drama.
It's like a horror. It has enough elements of horror to be considered a horror movie.
Nothing like House of a Thousand. They're not even the same.
They're definitely different movies. They're definitely different movies.
They are.
They're
both good.
They're both good. House of a Thousand.
Do you not like House of a Thousand?
No. I think it's like 3/4 of a great movie, and then they kind of lose it when they go underground.
Yeah,
that's where they lose me. But up until
then, they just end the movie. They just end the movie right there.
Well, they never should have showed Dr. Satan. They should have kept Dr. Satan mysterious.
Yeah, that was too much. I agree. Satan. You're right. But the rest of it was good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Killing Dwight off from The Office was fantastic.
All right, Randolph, what about you? What's your favorite horror show?
Well, the horror genre is not one that really interests me too much, but I'm going to have a similar answer to Kyle's, where it was the first one that I ever saw, and it was Friday the 13th. It's a classic, and the reason I saw it, I was a kid. I snuck into some classroom in the ground basement floor of my school. This is the same school where Never Ending Story, part of it was filmed, the school scenes were, but not at the same time. But these kids were in there, it's all dark, and they're watching the movie, and I snuck up quietly behind the couch they're sitting on, and I watched most of the movie before they realized I was there, and it freaked them out that I was there. The movie didn't scare me or anything.
Well,
but
I would be like, what the fuck, if I suddenly turned around and you were watching the movie and nobody knew you were there. It'd be like,
it didn't help that I smiled and laughed a little. But I ended up watching right to the end. They didn't want to interrupt the movie. It's all on VHS in those days, so the quality wasn't as good as now, but it was still it was a pretty well done movie, I think. I remember the scenes of people running through the woods frantically and everybody making bad decisions, and because it's a horror movie.
Yes. Never be a teenager at a camp having sex, right? Or else that's it. You're done.
Yeah, there's a lesson there, right?
But for me, I think I love all the classic stuff, of course, like the Friday the 13th and the standard stuff that we all know and love. I think though my favorite genre of a horror movie, at least back in those days, was the zombie genre. So the original Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. But well, I wasn't a kid for Dawn of the Dead, but still, and I just loved how, a kid at heart, yeah, exactly. I just loved the scene in Dawn of the Dead in the mall or Tom Savini, who's the creator of a lot of the effects that go on in that movie, is sitting there on the blood pressure machine and gets his arm ripped off by the zombies, which is just a great scene.
Yep.
But I think for me, the horror movie, at least in the genre horror, that is a fairly more recent one, that Hostel, like
Eli Roth.
The fact that allegedly things like that actually happen.
Yeah.
So that one kind of made me go, holy fuck, no thanks, right? Because that kind of scared the shit out of me in that respect. So
I saw that in the theater, but I was drunk as fuck. So all I remember is like a bunch of little kids throwing rocks at people. Did that happen in the movie?
Yeah, they were like the natives or whatever you call the villagers of that area. They were throwing rocks at them, but that was like a real tiny diversion so they could like steal a wallet or something. It's been a while since I watched Hostel. But the main thing I remember is the person that gets the eyeball taken out, the girl that gets her eyeball taken out. That at the time that got to me, but I've become a little bit more desensitized.
I remember the movie now. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the best one.
There's a TV series called Damages. It's more of a thriller than a horror movie, but I guess thrillers kind of dip their toes in the horror genre a bit, don't they?
I'm not a purist. I think thrillers go with horror. Like, I'm not a purist on that. I think anybody that draws a hard line in genre is missing out.
There are no hard lines. Yeah.
Is Pulp Fiction a thriller or a horror movie?
That's more like action drama. That's
Pulp
not horror. There's no elements of horror in that.
That's a Pulp Fiction movie. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's a genre of its own.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is the genre.
It's a great show. That one, Reservoir Dogs.
Well done.
What about Lost Boys? You guys like that one?
Lost Boys was great when it came out. I was a big fan of that show.
My mom has a Lost Boys poster hanging above her bed.
So she likes the movie, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big Kiefer Sutherland fan, and I still can't stand that movie. It's
really
too
much.
I love 80s cheese, but that's like really lame 80s cheese.
It's so
like,
good.
I'll go for Fright Night is my cheesy 80s vampire movie, but I can't do Lost Boys.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. My something.
Did they take themselves too seriously? Is that?
I don't know. It felt like a CW vampire movie for me. Like it was like proto CW.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. You're gonna ruin it for me now. The next time I watch it, I'm gonna fuck this sucks. This Buffy the goddamn vampire slayer.
Well, I was just about to say that. Yeah, Lost Boys was kind of the first of the teenage vampire flick things, wasn't it? And
there was Twilight.
Yeah, shortly after that came out
fluffy bunny vampires.
Just when
Buffy the Vampire Slayer came out not too long after that.
That was great. Buffy was awesome.
Yeah, when all the teenage vampire stuff came out, I remember there was a film called Subspecies, which was kind of a B-movie vampire flick, and
I remember that one.
It changed the kind of like at the time you had all these like following on from the Lost Boys, you had all these good-looking teenage vampires, and you know, so sexually magnetic into people, and then the main character in Subspecies was just this fucking bent over, like looked like a homeless person, like really and horrible and fucking nasty kind of guy, and it just changed. I enjoyed that because it was different to what was coming out at the time. It was a great film. They ended up doing 3 of them, I think, altogether.
Right. I only ever saw the first one, but I got to say that, it's. We lost Cal again. Cal might be having issues. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think you talk about vampire films, and in my mind, like Nosferatu, the original vampire movie. That's what vampires are actually supposed to look like, right? They're supposed to look like those grotesque human type.
That's the first look of them on film, but that's based off of Dracula. Just they didn't have the rights to use the name Dracula, and Dracula described in the book looks nothing like that. So I'd say
he does when he goes into that mode.
It's been a while since I read it. I did not like that book.
They show in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
It's still exaggerated to like a point of absurdity in Nosferatu. It's a cool look. Salem's Lot even kind of stole that look for Barlow. Like I think it looks cool. It's just it's not exactly. I wouldn't say that's like the original vampire look. It's just they went with the creative license on it.
Well, yeah.
There was a recent vampire film that came out of, I think it was Ireland. It came out of, and that was really cool. And it was like just this young couple who like kind of broke down in the middle of nowhere in Ireland, and it was a very Nosferatu kind of feel. The vampire looked like the Nosferatu vampire. The movement was like it. The kind of eeriness and things was like the same, and it was brilliant. I really enjoyed that, but I don't remember the name of the film. I've been looking for it recently for myself so I can rewatch it, but if you get a chance, all I know is it's a vampire film that came out of Ireland. So and there's not much to go on, but if you get a chance, watch it. It's really good.
Kristen wants to know if I'm gatekeeping vampires. No, not at all.
That would really suck of you to do.
It's just
you just have to not invite them in, right? Like they just get stuck at the door.
Oh, Cafesa, yeah, Blade 2, that was great. That was
Blade
awesome.
2 is a fun movie.
All the Blade movies were pretty good. I thought.
I didn't like the third one. I don't like anything with Dracula, honestly. Like any Dracula adaptation sucks to me. They put Dracula in Blade 3, and then it suddenly sucks. But the first two Blades are cool.
But Dracula is a Marvel character too.
I had a comic. Yeah, I had a comic book where Blade and Van Helsing went in and killed Dracula.
Yeah.
From like the 50s.
Yeah, Dracula was in Marvel for a while.
Oh yeah. Even in the animated stuff. Blade
kicked ass. That movie was fucking awesome.
I think the pretty vampires started making appearances in like, the Anne Rice stuff.
Yeah, Interview with the Vampire really made that popular. Wasn't Lost Boys before that though? I haven't
Lost Boys was before Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, yes, it's just Interview with the Vampires building upon that, and then in the books they really took off with that kind of crap.
I don't know when the books were written, but the film was definitely after the Lost Boys by a good few years.
Oh yeah, that's right. They also have a Dracula in the DC universe as well. That's right. I forgot about that because Batman and Dracula duke it out.
I forgot about that. I knew that there's a Frankenstein because Jeff Lemire wrote Frankenstein and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I knew about the Frankenstein monster was in there, but I didn't realize Dracula's there.
Yeah, they have the Frankenstein and like a wolf guy and a couple others that are like a scary team, I guess you might call them. The Constantine, I think Constantine and Batman teamed up with them in that. So
I think you're talking about Justice League Dark because Constantine wasn't on Frankenstein Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, he wasn't a member or on it or anything, but he teamed up with Batman.
Well, Frankenstein was on Justice League Dark so that they could have teamed up.
Frankenstein the Doctor?
Well, he's
the monster.
The monster is called Frankenstein in the DC.
In the DC, yeah.
Okay.
Huh? It's Frankenstein the monster.
His name's Adam.
His name's Adam.
Yeah. Isn't his name Adam?
I don't know.
I think it's Adam.
I haven't read a lot of those, so I could be wrong.
Google. To me, the best Frankenstein, of course, is Young Frankenstein, but actually, it's Frankenstein. But
well, up until the middle of the movie, that's Frankenstein. Like Gene Wilder's acting is amazing for like a comedy. You don't expect that quality of acting in it.
Oh, fuck! All those movies are funny as shit.
Anything with Gene Wilder in it was probably an amazing movie.
I don't know. How do you think Blazing Saddles would go over today?
I think it's actually
great.
Good. It's good social commentary. Despite like all the racism, the racists are made to look like idiots. It's not like encouraging racism. If the commentary is making jokes on the racists, I don't see the problem with it. But I'm a white guy, so I could be completely wrong.
I think Spaceballs would still have it beat though.
Hasn't Quentin Tarantino had a white person say the N-word in every single movie that he's ever made?
Well, usually he's in the movie saying that he gets himself apart just so he can say that.
Yeah, and it's fun. I'm sorry, I laugh at that part in Pulp Fiction every time. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great lines that you could never quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you should either, but that's okay.
No.
I don't think anybody would make Blazing Saddles today, but I think that if they did, it would. I don't know.
It'd be controversial, but I think for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Actually, Kristen makes a good point. It is anti-racism. That movie is about that sort of thing. So yeah, it probably would.
Yeah.
But who's got a dog?
Oh, that might be my neighbor's dog. I didn't even pick up on it. Anymore.
Is your neighbor's dog also have Discord open?
She might. She might.
Shit. Yeah, Mel Brooks movies were funny as fuck. Spaceballs was great. History of the World was great.
I think a lot of people that get mad at these movies have like never seen them.
Yeah, I would agree.
People that get mad about Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're mad about that, you didn't watch it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, and the way Mel Brooks made fun of circumcision in the Robin Hood spoofy was just classic.
The little guillotine.
Good night, Randy.
Canadian version too, right?
Good
Or
to
am
see
I
you
thinking
doing
so
better, my
far?
friend.
That movie was good.
Good to see Harmonica Man do better. Last time he was in my chat, he was actually at the hospital because he'd had a heart attack. I'm like, well, what the hell are you doing in the chat,
Oh,
man?
no.
Like, go deal with that. No, he's okay now, but it was a false alarm. He put it. So
was it a heart attack or a false alarm?
This show probably takes the stress off for him.
it was probably, what do they call it, angina or something, where it feels like a heart attack. But he thought he was having
where there's a small hole in the heart or something.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and our doctor friend isn't here for this. I don't know where he is. He's not here for this
He had
one.
a stream going early this morning.
Did he?
Yeah, he did some cryptoid stream. I have it bookmarked. I haven't watched it yet.
He
Dr.
he was ripping apart Ayurveda, which is the alternative medicine thing from India.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different thing.
Oh, are you talking about the science behind vampirism?
Yeah.
Ah.
What's it? I think Cafe. Yeah, you're right. From Dusk Till Dawn's a great show. But was it Tarantino the director? Or did I thought he shared? It was
He
Rodriguez.
wrote half of it with Robert Rodriguez. The first half
Right.
of the movie is written by Quentin Tarantino. The second half is written by Robert Rodriguez, which is just why the style changes. And Robert Rodriguez directed it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was, right? Because him and Tarantino have teamed up for a couple of or a few different things. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, that's a good mention though. Dusk Till Dawn is a good one.
So off topic, but I have an update. I think I just broke my bong.
Oh
What?
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you mean you think? You either did or you didn't.
Well, the down stem just broke
He's
off.
in denial.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
That's
making
fine.
shoddy bongs now. That's terrible.
No, I
Just
scooted back and
keep
it's like right
regulation
behind
on
me
that
for some
stuff.
reason, and it got knocked over. Oh well.
you have so much space over there. You shouldn't be knocking things over.
So much space. Yeah, good one.
Why are you
can
calling
call-
movie
I-
shows?
You call it a show. You can call it a show. That's silly.
Yeah, we go to the theater to watch the show. That's synonymous with watching the movie.
A good
We always
show.
talk like that here in Canada.
I call it a show all the time. Have you seen Bambi? That's a good show.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, maybe it is a North American thing. There you go. I don't know.
Where's
Yeah, the
Beth's name
director's
from
cut.
Australia or some shit.
Is that a Mel Brooks joke?
No, she's from over in the Sweden area.
Oh, I see.
Weirdness. Oh, come on. It's not that weird. It's a show, right? It's a movie. It's a show. It's like a TV show, a movie show, a stage show, live show. They're all shows.
I was just trying not to be the pedantic dick that was correcting you, but every single time he said show, I'm like, there's something wrong there. I'm glad Best Dave decided to be the dick.
Are you going to suggest that we call it a program?
I'd suggest you call it a movie.
Okay.
Is the Sweden area like a Brazilian? Is that like an alternative waxing of the genitalia?
I'm gonna go get a Swedish down at the parlor.
Yeah.
I don't know, Swedish sounds like something for more of a guy who's getting shaved around his Swedish meatballs.
Could be. Could be.
A show. Yeah. I don't know. I call movie shows too. If it doesn't sit right with you, too bad.
You go
And
to
hopefully
the
our
show
Canadian
and
culture will
we'll
rub
show
off on
you
them
a
at some
show.
point.
You're going to the movies to watch a show, yeah? That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It just happens to be, a couple hour long show. That's all.
They show you a movie.
If
That's
I say
right.
show, there has to be a stage. So, like, if I say show, I'm like going to see a band play live or something.
Okay. All right. So do you go over to like a stage like that and put your TV on there so you can watch a show, or?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a good thing TVs are light now, so I can just bring it from home and just prop it up there.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm showing my kids old pictures, there's like a TV or an old computer monitor, and I'm like, look at that thing. Look at how big it is. They're like, I don't care, Dad. Like, shut up. I'm like, it was so heavy. It was so heavy. You'd never be able to pick it up. They're like, shut up. I don't care. They don't get it. They don't understand how heavy and big they were.
Big
You could
fucking
smack them
console
with a
TVs.
baseball bat, and sometimes they wouldn't even break. Especially monitors.
Oh yeah. Yeah, having the old fucking monitors like that and having to move them when you move. Holy fuck.
We would take the old ones that didn't work anymore out into a field and break them with baseball bats. And some of those old CRT monitors had glass that was like an inch thick or inch and a quarter thick. I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck. You'd break a baseball bat before you could break that thing.
They're talking about how Sweden looks like a penis and apparently Finland is the balls. So,
Chat.
This is me being American, not knowing what Sweden is shaped like, so I can't know for sure.
Shaped like a penis.
Apparently.
Totally shaped like a penis.
I'm going to wow some people with my knowledge. You know Sweden is shaped like a penis?
Isn't it like playing Dicky Swords with Finland or something like that? Oh,
Something
Finland
like
is
that.
the balls, yeah.
That's right. What about Norway? Poor Norway gets left out of all this stuff.
Norway gets to watch.
Norway's the voyeur. Finland is the balls. I got a friend from Finland. He's not going to take too kindly to that one. What do you mean we're the balls?
I have a friend in Sweden.
Me too. She's in the chat right now.
That's who I thought you might be talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know that person. I've met them in chat. Yeah, I've seen them around here. My Swedish friend is named Oscar.
Is he green and hairy? Sorry.
No.
It's got to be a crappy name to have because I'm sure he's probably heard that joke before.
I've actually got him as my background, so I could show it to you pretty easily. That's not weird or anything.
No weirder than my producer Mikey taking while people walk away from their screens, he takes quick snapshots of their rooms, and then when they come back on, suddenly he's in their room.
Yeah, that's Oscar right there.
And that's normal Swedish attire.
Yeah, I believe that's a traditional garb.
It looks like he's put himself in a giant version of a banana hammock.
Well, it's just a banana.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if he has a hammock. He made videos where he debunks all the ghost hunting stuff.
Oh,
He
that'd
used
be
to
interesting.
pretty popular back around the time I first started doing all this. He would build the ghost hunting devices and things
cool.
So he could tell you that this is actually just a broken radio that doesn't work.
So I'm going to share my screen.
But he deleted all his videos, I think, because he felt bad that he was being mean to people or something. I don't know.
So this is why we're getting the whole Sweden is the penis and Finland is the balls. Best Name Ever sent me a picture of a coin that they released with this. So I'll just show you here.
Oh shit! You're gonna get
there you go.
You're gonna get in trouble for YouTube for that.
Somebody
Nah.
somebody didn't
I'm being
proofread that one.
sarcastic.
That's fucking awesome. Though.
Unbelievable.
Is that what it looks like for real?
Spirit box tastic. What the hell?
Well, spirit boxes are like when you had the radio.
Oh, I
that's
know
just
what they are.
tuned to pick. One of my friends is so sure that he's picked up communication with ghosts because he said something that would have an answer to do with whiskey, and he somehow happened to get a response that related to whiskey when it happens. Like, yeah, you're. It's like you're not going to hear that on the radio ever. People talking about whiskey.
Yeah, no, never.
And like I asked him how many times he's asked it a question and got nothing, and he's like, I don't know a lot, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, I have a friend who uses an app called GhostTube to try to pick up
app.
An app.
I've downloaded them and they don't do shit. Well, obviously.
Well, I looked up the developer of the app, and apparently it has like 1,500 programmed words that it cycles through every so often. And he's like, it's real, dude. No, it's not. It's really not. And they all had like all like theological words like hell, sin, God. It's just he vehemently believes it. I'm trying to get him to call into Ethan's show at some point, but we'll see.
I mean, I used to believe in ghosts when I was younger, never like living spirits, but like I saw something on Sci-Fi Channel before I became a skeptic, and they were talking about how in the right conditions with enough energy, it can like make a 3-dimensional recording of it like a hologram. So I'm like, oh, it's just playback over and over again. That makes sense. I don't have to believe in an afterlife to have this. It's just energy playing back. And then I realized that I was way the fuck off and had no reason to believe that shit, but it was on TV, so it had to be true.
I just got some information here, basically on the whole Dracula thing that we were talking about earlier. So Nosferatu was in 1922, and the first film that actually was named Dracula, featuring Bela Lugosi, which he's most known for, was in 1931. So not that long after.
It's just a difference between the Nosferatu was a silent film, and then they finally got the talkie. So more people have seen the Bela Lugosi one, but honestly, I kind of preferred Nosferatu over the first Dracula. I like some of the Universal monsters. Dracula's boring, but Nosferatu was like a cool take.
My favorite Universal monster was always the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I actually have not seen that one yet. It's on my watch list.
Oh, you got to see it. It's great. It reminds me, not really a take on the creature from Black Lagoon, but they had a movie. I guess it was done in the late 70s, maybe early 80s, called Humanoids from the Deep. Did you ever see that?
I know that one. It's on my watch list too. I know that it has some
fucking funny.
It has some scenes in there that are very questionable by today's standards, but I kind of like the trashy movies that like you shouldn't have made that kind of thing.
Like Chud.
I've seen Chud. I've seen Chud.
Me too. Like, these are all movies that we had to see when I was in high school. Oh, you got to see these movies, man. They're so bad, they're good.
I love this so bad. It's good. Like, one of my favorites is The Stuff. And like he just finds the white goo on the ground and he just puts it in his mouth. Oh, this tastes great. Like, who finds random goo on the ground and is like, I'm gonna go sell this?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the Last Jedi. Like, they did the same thing where like, oh, it's salt. Like, why are people just putting random crap from the ground into their mouth?
I'm not sure, but hang on a second here. A piece of bacon that fell out of my sandwich earlier, but I knew what that was.
Usually, if I'm putting random white crystalline powder into my mouth and it's salt, I'm like, damn, salt.
All right, buddy, you get your ass back to work, slacker. And just want to say again how fucking awesome Richard Gilliver is. A couple of these, right? So, yep.
Such a cool guy. Thank you. Love him. And we've done some cool stuff together. We've been on the non-profits together, and he came on the Skeptic Hangout once, and we talked about Mormonism.
That was a good episode.
lots of fun for like an hour and a half, and we're laughing and touched on some serious shit as well, like about the abuse they do and how they didn't accept black people into the religion and things, into the temple, and like. So there was some serious stuff, but we had so much fun doing it. Talked about some of the prophecies in Mormonism. Like Joseph Smith, I think it was Joseph Smith, predicted that they'd find people living on the moon. That's a really weird shit.
You guys have like a good energy off of each other. Like he comes in with all that manic energy, and you come in with like this very like subdued chill, and you guys play off each other like a yin yang very well.
It's sort of the same relationship with Secular Rarity when we do the perspective together. I'm thinking, Richard, we got to do an episode of nonprofits together.
Yeah, we do. I think I've got 2 coming up. I'm not on this week. I'm on the week after, I think, and then in mid-February, sometime I think I'm on again. So I'm a regular host on there. I'm quite often. So yeah, there's nothing stopping us being on together.
No, true enough. I'll just talk to Caitlin about it, and maybe she can get us scheduled together. Because I'm doing the 2nd of February. I know that. So
yeah, I don't remember the date I'm on, but I think it's a little bit later than that. And then, I'm on not this week, but the week after as well. So that's going to be fun.
Cool. Right on. There's just so much work involved with that show. This show's easy to fucking do.
Well, that's I mean, they're not the 2 regular non-profit roundtable shows. One's our podcast with Richard Gill and Laura McGee, and the other one's the non-profits, and they're so different. Because when you do the non-profits, you're reading the papers or the articles, and writing your opinion, writing your show notes and things like that. When it comes to Skeptic Takeout, you just, as Josh will know, because he's been on there.
Well, I haven't been on Skeptic Takeout. I've been on
Skeptic Hangout. Yeah, sorry. On Skeptic Hangout, we just literally we sit down, we get a topic, and we talk about it. So it's literally off the top of our heads with no research whatsoever. It's so much fun to do.
It's really fun, yeah.
Yeah, I want to kind of come and do some of those with you guys.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Well, I'll send you the schedule, and you can pick out an episode and see what you want to do.
Sweet. Yeah, I'd be down for that. That'd be a lot of fun. I just want to give a little shout out to Kristen, aka Best Name Ever, in the chat over there for doing all her hard work as a moderator, popping up everyone's channel links and stuff like that. Thank you so much, darling.
She's even starting up as like a virtual assistant right now. You see all the assisting that she does all over the place.
Oh, I know.
She's very qualified.
Oh, yeah. And if just to piggyback on the back of that, Josh, she has just set up a business. Go and have a look at her page, like her page, share her page, because she's fucking awesome. She's done so much for me personally. She's shielded me, pushed me, got me out into places I wouldn't have even dreamed of going. Absolutely fucking awesome human being. Go and check out her business, because she will do amazing things for you.
I like her even more than I like Randolph, so yeah.
Well, I don't take that personally, so don't worry. It's okay.
I know you would. It sounded funnier in my head, I guess, but
she is really nice.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. She gives great hugs too. I finally got to get one. Yeah. And she brought us some, which is really kind of cool. She brought us some Swedish candies and stuff like that over there that they have over there. We're trying them out. And it's pretty good stuff, man. It's pretty tasty stuff.
Anything that like really stands out as like being very un-American from those candies?
No, I think they all sort of have counterparts, so to speak, in the US or Canada as well. But I like she had the little car-shaped like gummy type things that were pretty tasty, but they were gummies, and you can get gummies in the US too, right? So
yeah, but I've never seen any car shapes, so they're better at it than us.
Yeah, the gingerbread that she brought was that was some good. I fucking love a good gingerbread.
On my Christmas episode, we did Krampus, and I was talking about nobody wants to eat a fucking gingerbread cookie, and you just discounted my opinion there. I think
I love gingerbread.
I don't understand. They're made. Gingerbread is made for houses, nothing else. Like it's not edible.
Sure, it is. What are you talking about? Yeah. I love the little ginger snaps that you get. Oh yeah, you can eat those all day.
I like ginger beer too.
Yeah,
Ginger
Josh,
beer's
you
good,
you mentioned Krampus. I actually watched that today, and I have a beard oil in that's called Krampus. So weird coincidence.
So you came in with the Christmas hat, and then you had the Christmas
Krampus
oil.
beard.
Yeah, it's evergreen, pine, and spiced apples.
Nice. Evergreen pine and spiced apples.
Weird combination, but it's really good.
You're going to have to talk me through this
So were
beard
they
oil
pine
thing,
apples?
because I don't do oils of any fucking sort. What is it all about?
Well, personally, I'm actually on a medicine that makes my hair fall out, but I really like my beard. It's like my defining facial feature, so I try to keep it as healthy as possible. Beard oil keeps it from splitting. It keeps it from going dry and flaking away. So I spend a lot of money on that shit.
It made a big difference when I started using those products on my beard because it was a lot patchier on the sides before I started using that. Which you don't have sides to worry about, I guess, Richard.
No, I'm sideless in the beard department.
This is actually a really interesting phenomenon to talk about. I think we should talk about the frequency illusion. What I knew it as what she's posted there, the Bader-Meinhof or Bader, I don't even know how it's pronounced, but Meinhof phenomenon is when you a concept or a thing you just found out about suddenly seems to pop up everywhere. I liken it to when you like buy a car and then suddenly those are all the cars you see on the road. Right, you get like the brand new Honda Civic or something, and all of a sudden you notice every other. Mind you, there are a gazillion Honda Civics on the road, but still, that's like suddenly becomes the thing.
I'm driving a Honda Civic at the moment.
Are you?
It's not actually mine; it's my best friend's. But I ride a motorcycle, and with it being winter, she's lent me a car for the winter, so I don't have to mess about riding the bike to work.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But I'm glad you brought that up because that's an interesting phenomenon.
Isn't that the reason why a lot of people make arguments about hard solipsism? That because they just heard it, their brain is starting to put that out into the world.
Could be. Yeah. Hard solipsism is a cop out, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I'm just saying
it doesn't even matter. Like if you accept solipsism as reality, what difference does it make in your day-to-day life and the consequences of your actions and stuff?
Nothing. None whatsoever.
Yeah. But speaking of Krampus, my kids are getting older, so I got to get a bigger sack for next year.
What are you trying to say?
You guys don't have a Krampus sack and stick for Christmas?
I don't do the Christmas thing really.
Oh yeah, Krampus comes around and puts you in a sack and beats you with a stick if you were. If you
You're a bad kid.
So I like to uphold the tradition and dress it. I have like a deer skull that I put on my head that's got big horns and.
Awesome.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't really have all that.
There's a whole like Krampus festival here in Indianapolis.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to go to. It's up at the. Have you ever heard of Necropolis?
Yeah, well, because Manila Road did an album called that.
Oh well, it's like this haunted attraction that does things year round here, and during Christmas it's the Krampusnacht.
Well, the only reason I knew about Necropolis is because I played the game Heroes of Might and Magic. And they have a necropolis in the game, so that game got so addicting to me. I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't feel so good. I'm not coming into work. Playing the fucking
game. Did you say Heroes of Might and Magic? Is that what you said?
Yes, Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yeah, me and my friend used to play that game all night long. We would play it until we fucking hallucinated it when we were walking home, dude. We'd play that game for like 2 days straight. Like, we didn't even have drugs back then. We were just kids. We just fucking stayed up for 2 days playing that game.
So addicting.
Yeah.
I have them. They don't run on my computer because they're too old. But apparently, I have the app for a version of it for your phone now. But I haven't started it yet. I haven't tried to play it yet, and I've had this thing for about 6 months. I'm afraid because I'm gonna start playing it, and I'm gonna be like at my lab at work, and my boss are gonna go, "Hey, how's the tests going?" What tests? I'm gonna be like, I'm still playing this fucking game here, and then I just got a raise too, so I don't want to get fired right away. So probably be that.
You'd be like, hold on a second, I'm almost done.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, a raise. My boss pulled me in on Friday. He's like, come and see me. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble or something.
Hey Neil, I have to head off. I have to head off for a little while. This has been a great chat. It's very, very, very nice chatting with all of you. I appreciate it.
Nice meeting
All right,
you.
my friend.
Yeah,
you're
nice
also
meeting you. Thank you,
Randolph. You're known as apparently the godfather of atheism now. Is that what it is?
Thank you. Yeah, this nickname's been going on for quite a while. Oz started it on Tang on the Atheist Network.
That's right. Too.
Yeah.
But you got to
Yeah,
put the
great.
cotton balls in there and go. You got to start talking like
Voice stuff. I got to talk to you first. You know all
Yes.
the tricks.
yes.
I'll have to try that out. So, thank you very much. I'm going to be premiering an old debate video from 2021 June, I think, on my channel at about 90 minutes or so. So, I did try to schedule a premiere earlier, but then YouTube has some weird bug in it where if you try to decide the starting music at the same time, then it ignores the premiere schedule, and then it put it on right away. So I canceled that because I don't want it to run at the same time as your stream earlier. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So and I've got it announced on Twitter and everything. So, but I'll if I can get back before then, I'll dip in again and say hello. But otherwise, thank you everybody, and thank you everybody who tuned in.
All right, brother. We'll see you later on.
Have a good night. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Farewell.
Yeah, I guess.
And with that, I actually have to go pick up my girlfriend from work. So, Richard, great job tonight. Oh, shut up.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by.
Hey, no problem, buddy. I was looking forward to this. Ever since you came on my deconversion story and Neil wanted you to come on, I've been waiting. So, good job.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. All right, Kyle. We'll talk to you later, brother.
Later, guys.
Later, Kyle.
We're going to come down there and steal your girlfriend.
Good luck.
Yeah, no kidding. I couldn't steal anyone's girlfriend if I tried right now.
I bet you could.
Well, yeah, but it would have to. Chloroform would be involved. Hey, what does this rag smell like? Okay, that's really bad. People don't do stuff like that. That's horrible.
I mean,
that was obviously a joke. Internet.
Yes, that's definitely a line that would have been really big in the 80s, probably. And then you look back at it a little bit later and you're like, maybe not so much.
Yeah. Oh, we got away with a lot of stupid shit in the 80s. That's for sure.
I still like those questionable movies. Like, I know Revenge of the Nerds is horrible morally, but I still enjoy it. But then you watch it now and you're like, the nerds are worse than the jocks about everything that happens in that movie. Like,
yep.
If I were the jocks, like, I would want to burn down their frat house. They're horrible people. They're putting cams into those girls' changing rooms. Like,
yeah,
that's like sex offender shit.
Yep, it is. But we never thought about it that way back then. You know, I mean, maybe some part of us did, but still, that's not good behavior. Which reminds me, I should probably take them down out of the washer. But anyways, so I'm kidding, people.
There's a lot of movies that don't hold up to like even just my own personal standards nowadays that have evolved over the years. It's like I watch Ace Ventura and I'm like, this is
yeah.
Like this is not. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I'll skip right into the second one where they do the cliffhanger opening. That one is a little less questionable. Plus, you get him coming out of the fucking rhino's ass.
Oh, that was funny though.
I'm saying I'll skip to that one and avoid all the problematic issues in the first.
You get all the same laughs out of it.
Yeah,
especially if you don't watch the first one at all, then you get all the laughs for the first time out of the second one.
Well, when he does the rhino thing, that was funny as fuck. But I think my favorite scene, my favorite fucking scene out of the second movie is quite near the beginning when he's being picked up by the British dude. Or I can't remember.
I know what you're gonna say. It was Rambo 3.
He put the slinky down there and he almost so close. Let's do it again. And he wants to run.
Come on, one more time.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we really must be going.
Yeah.
Fine. let's do all the things you want to do.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I should. Mikey texted me. His COVID test came back positive.
Oh,
So
well,
my
that
producer is suffering through the cove right now. So
it's hitting everybody right now. I had to cancel some small plans with some friends just because they got it out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's all about the slinky. I still have a slinky, like from like way back in the day, packed away somewhere.
I've only had it when I was a kid, and I always got it bent out of shape within like a day. I wasn't responsible enough for a slinky.
Did you guys ever not too many people I know knew about these things. They were called whizzers. They were like little round ball things. They had a little top thing. You go like this, and then you could let them go, and they spin around. They're called whizzers.
No, I missed those.
No, yeah, that sounds cool.
Google it. Oh, they were fun, but they were fucking like my sister pissed me off one time so badly that I wound the fucker up and stuck it in her hair. And she literally had to get it cut out of her hair.
Oh,
she hated me for years for doing that.
Yeah, you deserve the hatred for that. That's brutal.
Oh, I did. I was a terrible brother.
Well, everybody's terrible to their siblings. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Like we're good now.
Oh yeah.
Right? But yeah, back in the day, I traumatized the shit out of her. They're called Beyblades. No. Beyblades is something different, but Bey's sort of like the same idea. But they don't have little zip things like the old. Oh, that's something else. Remember SSTs? Little cars where you had the little zip things, you pull them and then they race.
I didn't
know what those were called, but yeah, those were fun.
Those are called SSTs, supersonic, they're super something, whatever. But they used to have the set I had was called the Smash Up Derby set, and it had Tough Tom and Little Dig'em, I think, were the little VW in the truck, and you could have them Smash Up Derby stuff.
There was a kind of similar thing, but with an Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel. You had to do this to it, and then you push the button, and he goes, and he does. I had one of those too. It's funny because I was just talking to an old friend of mine about that. We were comparing our Evil Knievel stunts that we used to do as kids out in the yard. We'd use these things to set up all these stunts and shit, and try and jump everything.
Well, that was the tech decks for me as a kid. Like I broke my arm like 15 minutes after I got my first skateboard, but like I was really good with my fingers on those tech decks.
Those were kind of cool though. They were neat.
And they were just something like while your teacher's talking in class, you'd be like writing on your books or whatever.
Yeah. Beyblades. Fuck. My ex-wife's kids used to have those Beyblades, and they'd play with those fucking things all the time.
I never got into the anime cartoons like Beyblade and Pokemon. Just like kind of shot right by me. I was always complaining because they'd put those on when they were supposed to be showing Batman Batman Superman cartoons, and they start putting on Pokemon and Beyblade. I'm like, this isn't my crap.
Yeah,
I like the anime, but I was introduced to it like early on. Like, you know, you had the old Astro Boy. I didn't really dig the Astro Boy so much, but they had other ones called Star Blazers, the Yamato, the SS Yamato, which was the spaceship, and I still watch a lot of it today. I love a lot of the new ones; they're great. But yeah, I was right into that shit. BattleTech. What was the other one? G-Force or Geoforce or whatever the hell. They were all different birds, and they flew their ships and stuff like that. Huh. The kid that wore the duck outfit talked really weird, and yeah, it was great.
I'm starting to try to dip my toes and keep more open-minded on that stuff. I've watched a little bit of the show called Darker Than Black, which was pretty cool, but the writing occasionally just got too anime for me. Like the style of writing is there was like a talking cat. I'm like, this is like some dark demon crap, and they got like a guy has to break his fingers in order to get his powers activated, and then there's a talking cat, and it's like that just like out of nowhere kind of
took you out of it or what?
Just a little bit. Maybe it's because I'm more of a dog person. So if there was a talking dog, I would have been all in.
Have you seen like the standards like Ninja Scroll? Have you seen that? It's a film movie, feature length movie.
I haven't seen that one. I have Akira is on my list to see. I saw it one time when I was drunk. And so I just remember bits and pieces, and I think I associate it with the South Park episode, but that's about it.
There's Ghost in the Shell.
That's a great one. Akira is a good one too. It's called G-Spot, the hard to find show. That was
that's funny.
You can just Google
It's good
it.
to know. Good
Are we
to know
sure that show exists?
Yeah, we're not too sure. We're not too. No, that was the other one that starts with a C. Anyway, I don't know. The little man in the boat. Yeah. A green machine big wheel. Yeah. The green machine and the big wheel. I had one of each, I think, at some point. The problem with those fucking bikes, like the old green machine and big wheels, is they were made out of plastic, even the tires. So when you're skidding out there, you would burn right through that plastic in no time.
Mhm.
So you're constantly, and they actually, at least the Toys R Us where I lived would sell replacement wheels for them. So you could actually, 3 weeks later, you've already burned a hole in your fucking tires. So you'd have to put these new plastic wheels on them.
I'm surprised. I worked at a sporting goods store for a while, and like, if anything broke on any of the stuff that we sold, you're shit out of luck. You got to buy brand new whatever.
Gee, that wasn't on purpose.
That's probably like today's standards.
Yeah. Ninja Scroll is good. I like that one. That's a good one to bring up, Stags.
It's got everything an anime should have in it, I think.
Yeah. I've watched tons of different ones. I was a big fan of what do you call it? With Death and
Death Note?
Not Death Note. Death Note's good, but Death was one of the Death the Kid or something like that was one of the characters, or fuck was it called?
Talking about Billy and Mandy.
No,
that's not anime. I actually like that show though. It had some like Evil Dead references on it.
Hey, Pasta Mike just showed up. Hey, what's going on, brother? No, fuck. What was it called? Come on, you guys, help me out here.
I think I said like the two anime I knew.
That's two more than me.
That's like all you said. Is it a show, a serial?
Yeah, Death the Kid is the name of the character.
Oh, I thought Death the Kid was the name of the show at first.
No, this is him.
No idea.
Shit. From the show
called Amnesia. Be a hard name to remember.
Oh, come on. They don't even tell you the name of the show? Soul Eater. That's what it's called. Soul Eater is good. Whoa, did I not take care of that? Okay.
Sounds like
Soul Eater was really cool. Really cool
like
artwork.
A cool heavy metal song. I like the name at least.
Soul Eater. Soul Eater. Oh, yeah. Thanks for being on time there. Sweet. Soul Eater was I really like that one. I like the art style in it. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's the one thing that I do really like on anime. The writing kind of is a little weird for me, but I do like the art. The art is great. Which I shouldn't be talking crap about the writing because I watch some like really weird foreign horror films. Like there's one called Gozu where a guy is killed, gets reincarnated as a woman, and then gives birth to himself as a full-grown man. But they're both still there, and there's just like when and she like you just see they show in between her legs, and there's just like an eye coming out from in between the legs. And then you start seeing a hand come out of there, like a full-grown man's hand. And when he comes out, it makes like a sound like when he comes out. It's like the funniest. It's the funniest, weirdest horror movie ever.
Right
That's awesome.
Sounds dope.
Did Neil see which one was the one that you recommended me with Lemmy in, the vampire one, Josh? I wondered if Neil'd seen that.
Lemmy Killmeister did.
Sounds familiar.
Lemmy Killmeister did a vampire movie. We talked about it on the podcast. It was so bad, and I completely
Sunset something was
Sunset Society.
Sunset Society. And Tracy
it came out like 4 years after Lemmy died, or 3 or 4 years after Lemmy died, and they just used old footage that was shot like in 2000 with him in his house, and they tried to make a narrative around it. So like Lemmy, and then occasionally they'd have scenes where Lemmy couldn't be in it, but they'd have like a cartoon Lemmy avatar looking menacingly in the background.
No,
that's from 2018, right?
Yeah,
it's not good. Yeah,
I like film. I like looking at, like, I'm a big metal fan, so, and I even got like a Lemmy figure right here. Like he's
That's
my
awesome.
hero.
Why would they do that?
Because well, they were friends with him, and he did a lot of cameos on things that were bad. Like he did a bunch of Troma movies. Like he did Tromeo and Juliet. He did the narrator for that. So he's just a guy that was nice, like doing this stuff.
Good. Was this movie good, like a Troma
movie? No,
or?
this is not good like a Troma movie. There's like one really cool kill.
Troma. Oh my god.
There's one really cool kill, and then the rest of the movie's horrible. But it's like horrible in a way that's fun to talk about. So I like watching those types of movies.
Well, that's all Troma stuff is like that.
Oh no, Troma has quality.
I used to love watching these horrible movies with one of my friends. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is quality.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah,
I knew that for the cartoon before I knew it for the movie.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen a movie called Real Killers?
No.
It is one of the most awful movies I've ever seen in my life, but it's like, you have to wonder. It's one of those ones that's so bad, like you could think about it for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so interesting that it's so bad. Like The Room, that kind of thing.
Oh, The Room, it has like funny bad moments. So like, I've seen like tortuously bad and just not funny at all. There's this one called Carnage: The Legend of Quilt Face, who you can kind of tell by the title what they're ripping off Leatherface. It was just like a bunch of people filmed this out in the desert with no special effects. So when they stab somebody, like it's like shot from the other side. So like it'd be like on the other side of the shoulder, they're stabbing you. So they don't have to put any effects. Maybe you'll see like a little bit of blood on it later on. It was the worst movie I've ever sat through in my life. It wasn't like so bad it was good. It was just, why did people give these people a camera?
So here's an interesting question I think we should answer. Maynard Save says, what is your favorite title of a song? You don't have to like the song or the band. I've got one, so I'll go first. I think probably I love the band, love the song, but the title of the song has got to be my favorite all-time title for a song ever. It's several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pict. By Pink Floyd. And it's off the Amagama album. It's the 6th track on the 2nd disc.
It's a good track too.
It's great. But that's mine. And you got to listen to that song on like really high.
With your headphones on.
With the headphones, because they got the quadraphonic sound going on, so there's little critters all over the place making noises and stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah, I like about the same year actually. Tyrannosaurus Rex. My people were fair and had sky in their hair, but now they're content to wear stars on their brows.
You guys got like novels for song titles.
That was the album and the song title on it. And there was a band called, one of my favorite bands called Gong, who were kind of a new age jazz kind of combo thing. And they had one called Ooby Scooby Doomsday, or the DJ's got the DDT blues.
Mikey, that's a good one. I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't.
Oh, that's a good one. I think for me, there's this band called Coven. There's an 80s or 70s one that's not the one that I'm talking about. I'm talking about kind of like the thrash one. And they have this song called 6669, which is just as immature as you would think a song would be with that title.
Awesome.
I'll just say,
who was the band who did Blowjob from a Rattlesnake? That was like mid-90s. One of these like
Cannibal Corpse,
white zombie type style bands with a couple of guys and a couple of girls in. I can't remember the name of the band.
Guar.
No, it wasn't Guar. They were another good one though.
Oh, Guar's fun.
Meat Sandwich. That's a classic one.
Fish fuck.
I had tickets to see them before in Vegas when Odorous was still around, and then they canceled that day. I'm like, oh, it's fine. They'll tour around it again next year. And then Odorous died. Like the new lineup is still decent, but like it's never going to be the same.
No,
that's horrible, man.
I saw
the worst thing I've ever seen
here
in my life.
And you have to go to their show. You're supposed to go wearing all white. So you get like white.
So when Odorous comes on you, or
when you get all the different. Oh, it's not just that, but there's blood and everything that spews all over the place. And so you get covered in it, and that's your trophy from being at a Guar show.
That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I've seen they do the effigies of like Trump or whatever presidents in office, and they'll just like rip them apart. And like I've seen the videos of that, and it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's great stuff.
Most of the bands I see, they do like little $10 shows in like shitty bars, and so like they don't have that kind of special effects. This one band, Black Prism, they brought in a smoke machine, and like you couldn't even see the. I was staying like 2 feet away from them, and I couldn't even see the band anymore because the bar was so small for the smoke machine.
Maybe they do that on purpose.
Maybe they sounded great, but maybe
they're really terrible.
Maybe they were just sitting back in some chairs there, and they just played
put on their
album.
TV or something. Yeah. They'll never know.
Exactly.
I think speaking of the smoke machine, one of the coolest versions of a smoke machine type atmosphere that I ever saw live was the Black Crowes. Because I love them, and their smoke machines smell like marijuana. So the entire fucking theater, all the smoke filled up the theater, and it just smelled like weed, which was great because everyone started going, "Oh, okay." So they started pulling out their doobies. They start smoking weed while they're watching the show, which is awesome.
I mean, that's the smell you expect to smell at a concert. Like,
yeah,
I saw Roger Waters do The Wall, and like I was at nosebleeds there, but like the entire top of Staples Center was just nothing but smoke. It was crazy how much you could fill up in like that giant stadium.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty easy when you got a bunch of people doing that to fill up a stadium like that. I think it was they were throwing out doobies into the audience too when they're on stage.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've been to 2 shows where the band has done that.
I think
the other one was Pantera one time.
Oh, so. I got into them after they were broken up, and then Phil Anselmo kind of seems like a dick. But now I have a hard time endorsing his music now. But I still kind of like some of the songs.
I saw
I'm the same way.
Donington in I think it was about 94 when I saw them at the Donington Monsters of Rock Festival.
I was really upset when Dimebag Darrell died, but now I like can barely listen to their music without thinking about how much of a dick Phil Anselmo is.
Not even talking about the Confederate flags that are all over like the imagery for their shit.
Yeah.
But crazy.
They were the Cowboys from Hell. Don't forget.
The craziest show experience I've had, I went and saw the black metal band Marduk, and like it was a room with like only one door for ventilation, no windows and everything. Somebody decided to burn a Bible in the middle of the crowd. Security flipped out on that guy, and they maced him. So because there's no ventilation, when he maced him, it hit everybody in the crowd and even the band. It was like the dumbest thing a security guard could have ever done, but like
he probably lost his job.
It felt like I was breathing fire, like burnt plastic. It was horrible.
Spicy.
I'd already been kidding the balls a bunch of times in the pit that show too. Like it seemed like people were aiming for my crotch in that pit. So like I'm already like sore in the stomach from that, and then I get maced.
Shocker, Maynard saves
13 times. That's fucking awesome.
I've seen two once.
I saw a perfect circle once when they
have
were 9 Inch
Tool
Nails.
album art here from my first tattoo.
Nice.
That's cool. I really like Tool.
As we're on the subject, who's the band that each of you have seen more than anyone else?
The band I've seen the most?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think I have mine.
I'm going to have to say, let me think on that for a second.
It's Bonded by Blood for me, which is like a thrash metal band inspired by Exodus. And I've actually had the singer on my podcast, so it was very cool for me.
my roommate just gave me shit for singing the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes song.
You did good though.
It's like I hate you so much right now. I got that song going through my head. You're welcome. Oh, that's funny. Oh, wow.
I loved it when 80s movies had like the songs that actually spelled out what the movie was about. Like Ghostbusters did that. The original Ninja Turtles had TURTLE power, explaining their whole plot. Like that was more movies need to do that. I think My Bloody Valentine had the ballad of I'm blanking on his name, of the killer at the end of the movie. Like more movies need to have that song at the Yeah, My Bloody Valentine.
Bloody
It's a
Valentine,
ballad of Warden, Ballad of Harry Warden. It's like right as the credits come up, it just tells like the whole story of the movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like the never-ending story.
That's
There's a
another great
song.
one.
Yeah, it's the never-ending story.
I don't know why that trend died down. I love that shit.
I don't
Because
know.
it's cheesy and people
No.
want more serious stuff in their action hero movies.
I want to hear the Ballad of Jigsaw at the end of a Saw movie.
No shit, dude, right? Hell yeah.
I can't say I've seen any band like 13 times. Like maybe 5 or 6 times is the most I've ever seen a band. And I can say for like bands that I've seen the most is probably my buddies' bands locally, just doing the circuit with my band. You know, you go and you play with them all over the place, right? So that's probably the bands that I've seen the most. But I have seen Tool 5 times, and I've seen the Black Crowes about 5 times. And
those are both really cool.
AC/DC probably 5 or 6 times as well. I'm sad I never got to see AC/DC with Bon Scott as the
That's
singer.
my preferred era. Like
Yeah, me too.
I think Brian Johnson has one great album with AC/DC, and that's
Back in
in
Black.
Black. And then everything
Although
else
for those about to rock
sounds
is
the
good
same.
too.
There are good songs when you go further on. It's just there's no great albums after that one. But Bon
Those are
Scott,
the two
I
I
like
like.
all the albums all the way through.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, Bon Scott was the man. And a buddy of mine's band here in Vancouver is cover band where they do all the old Bon Scott stuff because he sounds a lot like him. And my roommate and I went and saw them fairly recently, a couple of years back. So they were really good. And my friend who was playing in the band at the time actually just moved around the corner from me here. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, Tool, I saw the first time I ever saw Tool was at Lollapalooza in 92, I believe. And they were on the side stage at that point. They weren't even really well known, right? I was probably one of maybe 30 people watching them on the side stage. So yeah, and then I just seen them a bunch of times after that at different locations. They for a little while they were coming in and they would stop in and do a couple of sets on like in bars and stuff. They were into doing that kind of thing, so that was kind of neat too.
That'd be cool. Their sounds has evolved a lot from like their early years. Like if you listen to Opiate, newer stuff they're putting out sounds nothing like that. They've like really expanded. Like I like everything that I've heard from them, but I like the continued evolution of their sound a lot. And Kristen see Black Sabbath twice. I've only seen them with Dio as Heaven and Hell, and then I've seen Ozzy solo, but I've never seen like that core Black Sabbath lineup.
Zeppelin is my second all-time favorite band, by the way. Led Zeppelin. They are the shit. Cool. Never saw them live too, which, you know, mind you, they had broken up by the time I was old enough to go to concerts. First concert that I ever saw was Kiss.
Oh, I want to see them.
And in 1979, they were here in Vancouver, and one of the local bands at the time that eventually got really big, but nobody knew who the fuck they were at the time. They were called Loverboy. And Loverboy opened up for them. They got booed off the stage. Nobody knew who the fuck they were. But then they got huge. Like everyone around knew about them after that. But yeah. But yeah, I got to see the original lineup. Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons at their peak when they were blowing flames into the sky and spitting blood everywhere. And yeah, it was just great.
Everything pre-Dynasty is fantastic. After that, they lose me a lot.
Yeah.
So like you saw the right era of Kiss.
Yeah. Dynasty's when they released their disco single.
Yeah.
I was made for loving you, baby.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, I do understand. They're very smart financially, so that's why they released that. But
Simmons was a marketing genius.
Oh yeah, and I would surprisingly I don't have any Kiss merchandise, but I would take like a Kiss alarm clock or something like that if I could find one.
I had a friend that collected everything he could get his hands on. He even had the 8 tracks of their solo albums.
Oh,
yeah, like that's how serious this guy was.
Most of their solo albums weren't that great.
Ace's was the best.
Yeah, his was pretty decent, but otherwise, Peter Criss.
I actually like Peter's because I'm really into the swing stuff. So
see, that's the one I just said. That's the joke, and then you come in and like, yeah, you can like it.
You can like whatever you like. Yes, I've seen the Scooby-Doo. Actually, I have the Scooby-Doo episode with Kiss in it somewhere on my computer here. I found it and downloaded it. Or the movie they made, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park or whatever. Yeah,
that was awesome.
I've been trying to get my hands on that because I'm
like, bad. It's good.
I'm trying to justify.
I think it's on
that
YouTube.
I'm trying to justify that as an action movie so I can put it on the podcast.
That's not an action movie.
It is. It is. I think they punched somebody. Whatever. We'll pretend it's a mistake.
Paul Stanley's acting in it is certainly horror, though, so you'd get away with it like that.
There we go.
Oh no, you're not gonna. I thought it was on.
I've looked. I think you have to buy like a Kissology Volume 4 or something like that in order to get it right now. I'm gonna find some bootleg or something if I have to, because I need to see it.
What are these vile lies in the chat?
Vile lies? Why?
I do not hate ska. This is slander.
Well, I don't like ska, if that helps.
It doesn't help.
What's wrong with ska?
I like ska.
Ska's got some good stuff.
There's some bands that like have some ska influence that go a little heavy. Like Choking Victims, pretty cool, has some ska influence, but it's a little heavier than that.
You're too heavy, man. I can't. You give me a headache. All that shit.
Yeah,
Too loud. Sorry. Too loud.
You could try, I've often not found these full movies on YouTube, but then I go over to, what do you call it? Daily Motion, and they're on there.
Oh, I've found them in weird places. I think I'm just gonna like on eBay. I found a copy of Fright Night 2 because that one's really hard to find. I thought I found an official copy, but it ended up being like some bootleg you can sell by like the Blue Seal on the DVD. But like, I pay for it, I got a disc or whatever, so I'm happy with it. Something that I don't have to hunt down to get onto my screen is good enough for me.
I agree with Maynard Saves there that Kiss is a gimmick band.
Yeah, who cares? As long as they're fun, who cares if they're a gimmick band? Like my all-time favorite band.
Come on, like Diamond. War isn't the gimmick band? Give me a break.
At least their music goes hard.
Kiss made great. Like everybody just knows Kiss for Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day, and that song sucks. But if you listen to like Black Diamond, Black Diamond's fucking amazing. Like they have good shit if you get off the main signals.
Get off my main signal with that shit.
Simmons is a grifter. I don't know about that, but
I don't really like Kiss. That I don't really like. I'll say it. Fuck them.
That's okay. If you don't have to like everything.
Everybody's allowed to have different opinions.
When it comes on at the bar, when it comes on at the bar, I yell along with everybody else.
That was me for a while with Journey, because every single time I went to a bar, Journey would come on. And it was like, I hate Journey, but like everybody's going along with it.
Journey's
so like,
good. No, Journey is good
Journey.
though.
Journey's like if you put rock and then you just drowned it in water, that's Journey. It's just very watered down crap.
Oh, Chevelle was a great band too. They're still they're still going. So I like Chevelle. First time I heard Red, I think the song is called Red.
Yeah.
Red again. I thought it was Tool when I first heard it. I was like, wait, is that Tool? I'm like, no, that doesn't sound like them. But it was very Tool-esque in my opinion.
I saw Primus twice, and that's the band I've seen the most.
I love Primus. I've seen them a few times.
I like Blind Illusion, which Les Claypool is in also, but again, heavier thrash metal for me is where I'm going to go for it.
Headache music. One time I asked this dude at a party if he liked Primus, and he said, "No, man, I don't like death metal."
What?
But I'm like, no. He knew who Primus was. He was like, that shit's way too hard, man. That's death metal.
Primus is way too hard.
Yeah, I was like, bro.
Like, no, I'll admit they're talented musicians, just it doesn't like fit my mood.
I love Primus.
I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah, man. They got some fucking phenomenal tunes like Tommy the Cat, Southbound Pachyderm. I could go on, right? Like
My Name is Mud.
My name is Mud.
Well, that's a good name. That's a good
Always
name for a
been.
song, at least.
Yeah, it's a good song.
I fucking love him, man.
Fisticuffs, Over the
Yeah.
Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, go on and on and on.
Old Diamondback Surgeon.
Yeah.
Sturgeon, people. Sturgeon, not surgeon.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually thought the title was better when it was Surgeon.
Actually,
the air is getting slippery. That's a good one.
Yeah. When I saw them at another Lollapalooza where they were one of the headliners, there's this kid in the mosh pit, I guess. He's wandering around doing this during Old Diamondback Sturgeon. I'm like, oh, that kid's on what he's on. I want some of that. Give me some of that. So he's like wandering around in between everyone, smashing into each other, looking like a fish. I'm like, oh, the fucking pretty talented kid being able to do that without getting hurt. This one kid wanted me to. This is the same concert. He wanted me. You know how you can lift people up and then they body surf and stuff like that. Well. Kiss sucks. Sorry, you don't. I don't think. I never say stuff like that because they're just not your taste.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, because I'm very opinionated and I always come off like a jackass. So I always try to say it's not for me, but that translates into I think they suck. But I'm trying to be diplomatic.
Your dumb bullshit music just isn't for me, old fogey. Sorry,
Yeah,
your old 1980s fucking shit is just not my jive.
Anyway, so this one kid wanted me to lift him up, but he's just a little tiny guy, right? Like probably came up to my elbow almost, because I'm like 6'4". With I put my boots on him, I'm over 6'5". So he's like, yeah, just do this and I'll jump up over top. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And I was a lot bigger back then, but I just grabbed the kid and I fucking launched him into orbit.
I've seen that happen at a show. I went to Summer Slaughter, which is like a death metal festival, and they had, I think it was Critopsy who was going to come on, and these two like giant muscular guys, they started swinging this little skinny kid back and forth, and then as soon as the singer started screaming, they launched him. I was on the second story, and I saw the kid like right up there with me for a second before he came back down onto the crowd.
Oh, well, the kid loved it. He got caught by the people and was able to do his bicycle. But he came back and asked me to do it again, so I did it again.
I got dropped right onto the concrete one time. Like I got surfed over to the mosh pit, and like I could see it. I was looking where I was going, and he's, it was a mosh pit. And right when I got to the mosh pit, it just went whoop, like it opened up. Ooh. Everybody got out of the way, and I fell, 7 or 8 feet down onto the ground. Right onto my back, onto the concrete. That sucked. It was while Jimmy's Chicken Shack was playing.
Oh, nice.
I remember it. Yeah.
It's another Claypool thing. 89. So I saw him 10 years earlier than you, Hellbound Hillbilly. I saw him in 79. And the thing was, is back in those days, my cousin Norman Perry was the owner of Periscope Productions, and he was the one that brought all the big bands through town. So any concert that I wanted to see, I'd just, Mom, call Uncle or Cousin Norman and get me some fucking tickets to the show. And I always get the cool ass fucking box seats to watch all these shows, right? The VIP or the press seats. So you could sit right out over front and watch, which is awesome. When I told my friends at school, because Kiss was huge when I was back in elementary school. I'm going to see Kiss. They're like, oh, can we come? Like 45 fucking kids wanted to come with me. I'm like, yeah, no. I can't get tickets for everybody. Oh, no, we used to get them for free.
Oh, yeah.
So many, many shows for free. Genesis which was a phenomenal fucking show. Back when they still had Peter.
I know who you're trying to say, but I'm blanking on it.
Peter
Gabriel, thank you. When he was still a member. Also saw Peter Gabriel open up for David Bowie when he came here. The very, very first concert ever in BC Place, which was the giant stadium they made. I was at that one. That was the Let's Dance tour, I guess, from 1983. And Gabriel opened up. But he can't sing. Yes, he can sing. Peter Gabriel can sing. Not as good as me, but he can sing. Sorry, I didn't. I like you guys see where is it? Let's see. Hang on here. Yeah. It's brown nosing. Luminous is my band.
I figured from context clues.
Yeah.
My first concert was Slayer. Actually, I saw them touring with Lamb of God, Children of Bodom, and Mastodon. Slayer and Mastodon are the two that really stand out as being great for me from that.
Slayer's amazing. I've seen them live in Israel.
Really?
In Israel. Yeah. Yeah, a buddy of mine was huge into them, and he had a couple of tickets. He's like, you got to come with me. I'm like, okay.
They're not my favorite of thrash metal, but I do really enjoy them. But like I had seen on the DVDs, like all this fire pyrotechnics and like the raining blood. This stage actually had blood coming down. We didn't get any of that. We just got like a solid Slayer show. Still very cool to see, but like for my first concert experience, is like a little disappointing.
I've been to other concerts that I didn't want to go to, and my uncle, because all the kids, my cousins that were younger than me, wanted to go see this. I think this was in 84 or 5, the Jackson Victory Tour, which is Michael Jackson and, of course, the brothers from the Jackson 5. And I really didn't want to go see it because I was never really a big Michael Jackson fan. But I ended up going because they needed another adult there, I guess. I've never really been an adult, let's be honest. But I can adult, but I'm not really an adult. That's why I have that T-shirt that says I'm not like most teens. I'm in my 50s. But I decided, okay, I'll go. And I got to tell you, they put on a phenomenal show. Even though I'm cringing while the music's playing, but they put on a phenomenal fucking show. That's for sure.
Even if you don't like the music, sometimes just going to a show is awesome. Mm-hmm. Like I've gone to a few bands that I don't like. I've seen some cover bands for bands that I don't like, and I still ended up having fun. It's just the atmosphere. It gives it's a good time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest. Like I just was never really a fan of that. So, but I went anyways, and don't regret it because it was a hell of an experience. Another awesome show that I went to was U2 when they were on the Joshua Tree tour. That was fucking phenomenal.
That's
and of course,
the band that's not for me.
Oh, I like U2. My taste is spans out.
You seem to have an eclectic taste, which I'm trying to expand and put me on it. It used to just be death metal for me, and now like I dated a girl that was into punk, and she introduced me to punk, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can start expanding into like progressive rock, like King Crimson and even like the Beatles now. But like it's very hard to get me onto something that's off metal.
Oh, actually, I'm not going to type that. Why am I typing? I could just answer the questions from here. Maynard Saves, I am on the West Coast. Yes, I'm in a suburb or one of the lower mainland, they call it, which is Vancouver and the lower mainland. So I live in a little area called New Westminster, which is just a little bit southeast of Vancouver. I can literally get to Vancouver in about 15, 20 minutes by car. So New West is like central to all the bigger areas around here. So I can get to anywhere I want in less than 15 minutes if I need to. So yep, nice little place I live. Right on where the Fraser River splits into the north and south arm. I live right on that little chunk of land that splits the two rivers, the mighty Fraser. So that's where I am. Like literally, I could throw a rock and throw it into where the river splits from my bedroom. There you go. That's where I am. Shit, did I just dox myself? Now people are going to come banging at my door now? You're that fucking atheist bastard, aren't you?
Probably not.
Atheist bastard drinking out of his California Wonderland fucking cup.
I mean, if you get like angry theists coming in an hour 40 minutes into this show, then they deserve to go and find you. They put the work in.
Mikey opens up Google Maps. You know what's funny? You know the Google Street View you can get? I was on that for I think a couple of years because they update it every couple of years. I don't remember the fucking Google Mobile driving past, but there's a picture of me out front with like a doobie. And you know how they actually, I was holding the doobie. Sorry, it wasn't here. I was holding it near my phone. they blurred out the doobie instead of my face because they normally blur out your face, but they blurred out the joint, which is too fucking funny. Google Maps I've heard some crazy ass fucking stories about people getting busted on Google Maps.
Really?
Yeah, like wives looking for their husbands who aren't home yet, and then they find their car parked in the driveway of like their girlfriend's place or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So now they blur out license plates and all kinds of shit like that, right? So you can't. It's a little. If you really want to know, just Google Queensborough is the area of New Westminster that I live, and it's right at the tip. A little apartment complex called the Dockyards. So, yeah, there you go. That's where I live. There's lots of pictures of it. You can see my building. You Google the Dockyards in New West, and you'll see my building. It's quite nice, newer one. But anyways, yeah, that's where I live, and you can probably see me out front smoking most of the time. Smoking what? Well, we won't talk about that. Anyway, Neil, stop.
I guess it's like a Canadian landmark. This is where you'll see Neil outside smoking.
Mike's like, Neil, stop! I'm like, oh, dude, I got no one's coming for me, buddy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And if they do, they drive by.
If somebody really wanted,
you guys,
if somebody really wanted to find out where you live, I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard.
Not hard at all. Not hard at all.
Google it. Like,
yep.
Find your last name. I'm sure I could find your last name if I put in like 5 minutes of work. And yeah, go from there.
Mikey knows me. I can be bribed. Okay, I'll stop. Thanks, Mikey. Did you not? Yeah. I was just thinking the same thing too. Iron Man 3. Look, I don't have an arch enemy that I'm too worried about, so it's okay.
Not yet, but you never know. You still got a lot of time on this earth. You could make an arch enemy any time now.
I could.
Like all this journey loving that was happening early on has rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, Richard, I saw your little mention in the private chat there about you having to take off. That's all right. You know, I can wrap this episode up for the day because I definitely got to go eat something because it's our dinner time here.
Yeah, I got to go too. Good timing.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll wrap this sucker up. Richard, again, man, thanks for joining me for the hour and then the after party.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a blast, my friend. Josh, great to meet you, sir. And I hopefully we can do some stuff together in the future for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Staggerson, good to have you here as always, brother.
Pee pee poo poo.
The maturity level just rose, I think, there for a second. if you know what we're normally like. But anyways, I want a big thanks to my producer who is suffering his way through a bout of COVID. Get well soon, brother. We need to have you back here. He's usually the guy that does all the production work on the show. I've been a little lax with the hashtag coins thing, but there you go. It's a freebie. But anyways, guys, thank you for hanging out in the chat with us there. You guys are awesome over on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. And of course, thanks to my amazing patrons. You guys really are why I'm able to keep doing this. So I love you guys very much. And if you are interested in becoming one of these amazing patrons, there's links below, different ways you can help out the show. And I appreciate it all, really. And I got to post those memes. But myself and my very good friend who was on the show a little earlier, Randolph and I are starting our show called True North Talk. It's coming soon, so you can subscribe to the channel, True North Talk. You can learn more about it at www.truenorthtalk.ca. And, of course, myself and Richard here and many others are the new co-hosts of the relaunched and revamped nonprofit show, which is an ACA product. 3 p.m. Central on Sundays between Talk Ethan and the Atheist Experience. Hope to see you guys in the chat the next time I'm on an episode. And of course, the last Saturday of every month at 2 p.m. Pacific time, myself, Andy, and Seamus do a little show called Atheists Drinking Out Loud, where we always have a guest with us and we poke fun at shit and for a couple hours. And, well, I can't really drink a lot, but I usually sneak a beer or two in during that show. Yeah, but that's about it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything. And like I always say at the end of these interviews, or this isn't the interview, pardon me, I think I have been drinking. The end of the after parties, like the late great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you later.